Another day on site. So I already dropped the video about this one, what, like 4 or 5 months ago? Whole lot of site work. So last time I dropped the video at this lot, it's loud. I can't hear myself. Imagine just sitting up there all day just to get that rock down. But yeah, last time I was on this site, we was tearing down houses, we was tearing down trees, and now we got a lot more space. We done blasted all this, all you see right here. Literally blasted it with dynamite. We're on the back end of it now, so in order to cover this wall up, we gotta get rid of that rock, and certain points of it where it's uneven. Guys are up there with the hammer, and they just chipping away. So these are one of the things you gotta take into account when buying land, site work. So we've been in this deal now for about 7 months. So that's cost, that's interest, that's holding costs. It's not like we've been just twiddling our thumbs for 7 months, but we've been getting this site ready, prepping the site for the monster, the house that's about to go on here. Y'all take a look over here. We actually blasted our pool. So over right here, this is where our pool is going. We already got some water in there. That's rainwater. And then we got the property staked out already. So whenever you see these orange stakes, that means it's time to get busy. So all the work that we've done up until now is called horizontal construction, site work, horizontal construction, whatever you want to call it. But all of that is so we could build our actual house. All these orange stakes is the footing, is the layout, the first floor of the home. What my guys come out and do is they draw the actual house. So these orange lines connecting them is the actual home. Kind of draw it up like we're artists. And the reason we do that is because sometimes there's mistakes with the stakes. So we rhymed right there, huh? Mistakes with the stakes. But sometimes there's actual mistakes with the stakes. The surveyors, they can make mistakes sometimes, they're human. So we double and triple check it, you know? So we draw out the property, connect the stakes, and now the next step is to dig our footers. So pretty much what we're gonna do is we're gonna dig and connect all these lines. We're gonna dig until we hit virgin soil. And once we have our footers dug, we're gonna run rebar inside of those footers. And then we're gonna have a rebar inspection. Don't forget your rebar inspection. So it's important to have that already set up. Like if I know I'm gonna start footers today, and it's gonna take my guys about a day to dig the footers and run the rebar, I'm gonna already have my rebar inspection scheduled for first thing in the morning. So then now I can have the concrete trucks ready to pour my footers. Because once you pass that rebar inspection, you can pour your footers. Then once these footers are poured, our concrete footers, that's when we're ready to officially start our foundation. We're doing the block foundation over here. There's also another step. So once we dig the footers, run the rebar, pour the footers, we gotta call the surveyors out here to stake, to pin the footers. They're gonna pin the corners. So right now, these stakes is considered a rough stake. But once they dig the actual footer and pour the footer, then they're gonna pinpoint exactly where each corner of the property, because that's essentially what these stakes represent, a corner of the property. They can't put a stake on concrete, so they're gonna spray paint that, and that's gonna let my block guys know where to start their block work. This is a game of inches. You don't wanna be off on that. So where I'm at right now is gonna be like the living, well, actually the dining and foyer area. The entry is right here. We got like a little courtyard look. So as you can see, our courtyard is right here. Boom. This is gonna be our little porch area. Boom, see our porch. Where you at right now is gonna be a large 10-foot front door. Boom, front door area. And then when you walk in, 2-foot foyer, nice chandelier. Voila, sound off the orchestra. Cause this is a multi-million dollar estate. But we're gonna have our foyer area here, little catwalk above. Right here to the right is gonna be the office. Down this hallway and over there is the primary suite. We have a guest suite right behind you. Yep, towards the front. And then on this left side, we'll have like a double-sided fireplace right here, somewhere right here. And then the formal dining room. Well, one of the dining rooms, this house has two, is gonna be on the other side of that double-sided fireplace. And then as you keep walking, you got your kitchen area, the formal dining right there. And then we're gonna have the living room area, the great room, huge great room area. So all this is the porch. So we're gonna have 3 10-foot iron doors. Obviously, I know my plans. We're gonna have 3 10-foot iron doors here, arched. Boom, you walk out. Now I'm on the porch. So all this is gonna be our outdoor porch area. Of course, the pool is right there. Garages over there. So we have a 4-car garage. Well, a 3-car garage with a porte-cochere, that's another garage. Home is 8,000 square feet plus 10,000 underneath the roof. Got a lot of real estate that we building right here. We got a lot of land to build it on. So sitting on about 2.8 acres and it's elevated. This is what I love about this lot. Look at this tree right here. It's a pretty tree. We're just getting back into spring, but when I bought this lot like 7-8 months ago, that thing was fully grown in. It's a beautiful tree. The buyer of this property will enjoy that tree, but you keep walking forward. You can see we're a higher elevation, like these homes over there, they sit down the hill. This home to the right of us is still beneath us a little bit. Then we got a nice little driveway that's gonna wrap. So every time you pull up to your house, you're gonna be like this. Dang, I did that. You pulling up down. It's gonna be nice. A lot of space, a lot of peace, quietness, and privacy. That's what luxury is. Luxury could be a lot of things, but for this video, it's privacy. We're gonna be doing something special with this huge wall right here, so we're gonna walk up there and check it out a little bit. Look like he getting somewhere though. I'm excited to get started on this. It's crazy because I've been to this lot probably over 100 times, and we still haven't started construction. It's all good though. That's why you factor that in on the front end. I knew that I was gonna be doing a lot of site work on this lot. So I factor that into my costs on the front end. That's some of the most important things you could do as an investor, as a builder, is know your costs, know your numbers on the front end, know your value, know your land use. If you answer these 3 questions to an accurate degree, like with success, then most of the time you should be successful on the project. So if you could determine your land use, and how do you determine land use? Well, check your zoning, what can you build on the lot? Check if there's utilities. Of course, I'm talking about infill development, so check if there's utilities, sewer, water, electric, which we have that there. Make sure you don't have any easements that could disrupt your building envelope. And then once you know what you could build on a lot, then you could correctly value what you're gonna build on the lot. So determine your land use, determine the value of the asset that you're gonna build, and then determine your cost. Once you know those 3 things, you can reverse engineer the whole process and know what you're gonna make on the front end. Figure out the land use, figure out the value, figure out the build cost, and make sure you're right. So with this project, I knew that I was building one large home on it. I know this is infill because I have sewer, water, and electric present. There was already a house on this lot, so if there's one house, I could tear it down and build another house in its place. I ran comps on the neighborhood to determine my value. Pretty much that looks like me looking at the sales that's went on, in this neighborhood, in this area in the last 3 months, 6 months. I've built 40 plus houses, so I know how much it's gonna cost me to build this. So once I put those numbers into my little pro forma, and it lets me know I can hit my ideal margin, which is 20%, then I make the decision to buy it. With this one, showing higher margins than 20%. So, and I factor in those hold costs. Know who you're gonna be financing the deal with. Know how much that money costs, because whenever you get in a deal finance, you're just buying money pretty much. And what's the cost of it? Interest. So know the cost of that money that you're borrowing. And if the numbers look good, once you factor in every cost possible, because this is where most builders or investors or business owners mess up. They don't know their costs, Construction costs is one thing, but holding costs, interest, And selling costs is another thing, you know? So you gotta factor all that in on the front end to give you an accurate, ideal margin on your deal. If you leave out your holding costs, if you leave out your selling costs, if you don't correctly forecast how long you're gonna be holding this asset, then your numbers can be incorrect and the deal may not turn out how you thought it would turn out. So very important to know all these numbers, to know all these things on the front end when you're analyzing properties. Your superpower as an investor is gonna be correctly analyzing these deals, finding these deals, and giving your company the opportunity to execute them. You wanna get into this game, I'll say start by finding good deals, learning how to spot a good deal, learning how to know what a good deal looks like, because that's what's gonna separate some of the best investors from the worst, is knowing how to correctly value a deal. Because once you know value, then you know how much you should be spending. On top the mountain, looking out on everybody hating on me, and I got them all debating on me. Let's get into it. How you think you gonna get it off once it get too skinny? Don't fall off this bitch. See how high up we are? So we go head out of this site, pull back on him a little later and see where he got at. We gonna peep at another site. I just purchased another lot in this neighborhood. There's nothing that a builder loves more than having projects that's near each other. Once I start developing in a neighborhood and I like the returns I'm getting, one is great because I know my numbers, I know what I could get, I know what makes sense and what doesn't, I know the process in that neighborhood, but two, my crew don't have to move too far away. And I got certain crews for certain calibers of houses to catch this. Just imagine when we put that big estate up there. It's gonna be nice. So y'all can see this is 2 doors down. This is the type of houses that's in this neighborhood. I just bought another one not too far from here, so we're gonna go check that one out. I got another house that we just completed in this neighborhood, so I'm kind of making this neighborhood home base right now. A lot of trees, privacy. Gonna be another nice one on the left-hand side coming up. Rich people like living near other rich people. Location, extremely important. Values in this neighborhood could range starter level 2.5 million. Yeah, there are neighborhoods where the starting price is 2.5 million, and there's houses that could reach, there's houses selling for 10 million plus in this neighborhood. So it's kind of a playground for a builder. But one thing, once you start playing with those type of price points, you got to make sure you build it right, because these buyers are definitely more sophisticated and more picky, and as they should be, because they're investing a lot to their property. So don't cheap out or they will not buy it. Y'all make sure like, subscribe, share, comment. We'll be pumping out YouTube videos weekly. We'll be upping the volume of videos and really just showing y'all an inside look, a multi-million-dollar development corporation that's growing, continuously growing. More new construction all around. It's always a good sign. So we'll go check out this house. I got another house up the street over there. All these lots, what I like about this part of town, all these lots are at least an acre. Got a lot of land and opportunity. We made a last minute change to the plans. We got some nice houses over here, but made a last minute change to the plans and we just waiting on getting that finalized plan. It's all in the details. Don't want to go too fast and don't have the product that was in the vision. So once we staked out the property, I noticed that the primary bedroom wasn't getting as much natural light as I would like and as the buyer of the property would like, because I know most buyers of these type of homes, they want natural light in the primary bedroom. So what we decided to do is detach the pool house. Got another house going up here. It's one of my friends. That's his foundation going up. Then we pulling up on a lot that I just purchased right over here. So a lot of new construction over here. Right next door, got a massive, massive home going next door. I actually know the builder of that one. This is a lot that I just purchased. Got our neighbors building something special right next door. We gonna do the same thing. What I love about this lot is how wide it is, man. Check that out. Got over 160 feet of road frontage. So that's room for a massive floor plan. We have a wide house over here. Yes, sir. So this home will be torn down soon. That's crazy, man. I bought this for $800,000. Pretty nice house on it, but it gotta go. That's getting torn down. So crazy that the first lot I bought was free because it was a creative deal. First lot I bought was $185,000. It came with a house that I didn't have to tear down. And the most recent lot I've bought, purchased now, $800,000, I'm tearing the house down. So just keep building. This is our yard, sitting on an acre, do a nice pool, play into the yard. Like I said, our neighbors next door are giving us, they'll give us a nice comp. Closed on this last week, $0 out of pocket. I think the key is at the front door, something like that. You wanna get right there? Side angle. But hey, I like to fuck shit up. I'm home! It's a break-in. Ready, set, hey, blue, 42. It's a bad pass. I'm doing about a 6,000 square foot house on this lot. I'm not gonna talk about what I'm gonna sell it for. That number can change. But right now, my plans are being drawn up by my architect. Once those plans are drawn up, I'll be permitting for it. And then once I get my permit, we'll break ground, start going vertical. Difference between this lot and the last one is we don't have site work over here. This lot is not flat, but for Nashville, this is considered flat. It slopes slightly up, but that's not an issue. Once you got your architect plans, survey, site plan, and stamped elevations, then you can start permitting. And once you finish permitting, get all your sign-offs, then you can start building. So, purchased this lot last week. Ideally, we'll start going vertical by within 3 months. Usually between 60 to 90 days, we could get all the documents we need. There's gonna be a special plan that we build in here. So, on to the next. As soon as you turn the corner, another new build. Another new build here. Look like another one's going next door because they just tore that house down. A lot of activity. Tons of activity. I actually tried to buy that lot, but somebody came in and paid more than what I was willing to pay. Renovation. I tried to buy this lot, but somebody came in and paid more than what I was willing to pay. And then we got another new build going here. My friend has this one on the market. It's pulling up. So this neighborhood is transforming before our eyes, or right in front of our eyes. Why would I pay $800,000 to tear a house down? Because the land is worth more than the home. So this is why, I recommend, one of the best things you could do is just get in your car and drive for dollars. What is driving for dollars? Riding around and looking for your next play, your next deal. And if you're new to this game, it benefits you because now you can start seeing what's going on. I know technology does a lot, but we're still humans, and seeing is believing. So riding around the neighborhood, getting the feel of the neighborhood, if you want to develop there, I would like to deliver homes to people in places that I would personally live myself, Hop in your car, ride around the neighborhood, see what's going on. It's a huge neighborhood. This is how you get subcontractors too. Ride around, catch job sites, hop out at the job site, connect. It's one of the best ways to get new subcontractors to work on your job sites. Catch them at already job sites. Check out the job, walk the new build, see if you like the craftsmanship that's going on over there. So we still in the same neighborhood. Another new build right there. That one just sold recently for $2.5 million. Right around the corner. I just finished one up and now we're selling this one, priced at $2.5 million. One thing I do with my clients, we have quarterly masterminds and I take them to these projects and show them, the actual projects. They get to see it. I take them to active job sites so they'll meet my subcontractors, meet my team. Can't do none of this without a team, especially not at this level. They get to talk with my team, see what it's like to work inside of a company, a development company, 7-figure development company. And then also, walk our products and see the real thing. If you're interested in joining that mastermind, if you're interested in, learning how to get into new construction, just hit one of the links in the caption. And if you got any lots in this neighborhood, send them to your boy, because I'm buying. We ain't slowing down. Got to keep that pipeline full, but the numbers got to make sense. We ain't just buying everything that we could buy. We buying the ones that the numbers make sense. Real estate is a numbers game. And too many times people just get their emotions involved with it. When I say people, I can speak to myself sometimes, Of course, I'm coming from a higher level of experience now to where I've learned my mistakes, learned from my mistakes so I don't make the same mistakes twice, because what's the point of that? But if you put your numbers into your pro forma and the numbers ain't numbering, pass up on that deal. You know what's better than a bad deal? No deal. Y'all can just see all the new construction, and then there's still more houses to be built in this neighborhood. So sometimes people have that mindset of, oh, they're gonna run out of houses. You're crazy. You go just keep worrying about houses getting ran out of, and I'm gonna keep building. Gotta have that abundance mindset. There's always a lot more than what you think, always. Just get out there and get to it, get to work. Find you a deal, get in where you fit in. Because deals are happening every second, every minute. So we go pull back up on our friend that's trying to get that rock off that cliff for us and see if he's closer. Hopefully he is, hopefully it's gone.
You see that cut I got going in right there?
Yeah.
I'm going in it right now, I'm just getting my charger.
How much longer you think till it fall?
I found the drill point, where they dropped the little thing. I dropped it right there, I found it. I found 2 of them, so it might break off easily, I don't know. It just depends. Because you see them parts cracking off at the edge too. See?
Yeah.
So it might not be that hard, it might be that bad.
Well look, as long as it come down, the longer it takes, the more money it costs me. Well, looks like it ain't gonna come down today. Hours and hours of beating rock. Costs a lot of money too, but we live to fight another day. Look, if you got any game, learn anything new in this video, like, subscribe, share, and comment. We out. Ooh, my life be like, my life like 2K, ballin' every day. Yeah, I like that song on this video.
Okay, my life like 2K, ballin' every day. Bitch can play, I cannot complain. Practically I'm famous. I stay out the way, I be state to state, making plays. I be rocking stages, you know I'm paid. I've been paid ever since I made it. I know they hate, I like great shit, done amazing. Just know I'm straight. I've been actually in the clouds. I ain't looking down, I've been down hard and lost the found. Hit me if you found it. Cash rules everything around me, no way around it. Shit ain't about to climb, it's the mountain.